Dedicated to a friend. Hello, so you probably guessed it. This week's figure is a SNLF Marine Japanese figure, and it is the first ever 12-inch figure to be on YouTube. And there are many reasons for that. The first is that there weren't a lot made, because I think in total, out of 7 Japanese figures, who 2 are admirals, so that makes 5 actual figures, a lot were very expensive, and nowadays, so yeah, they run out of stock, and nowadays you're lucky if you can find one store selling one Japanese soldier, and they're usually very, very expensive. So I was quite lucky because I started collecting 12-inch figures when I was 6, I think, about 6. And so this Jap soldier was my first figure. He was from BB Elite Force, and he's the Japanese Imperial Navy figure. And around the time he cost 45 euros, which is nothing when you look at the prices nowadays. But who are the SNLF? SNLF belong to the Japanese Marine and Navy. They are very well trained, high quality troops, and of course with good morale, is when you're high quality troops, you have the ego that comes with it. And so they perform very well against unprepared and unorganized opposition in South Asia, for example Singapore against the British, which would be normal since you would expect them, since they're elite troops, to be able to easily win against unprepared enemies. But they did have some problems, because since of their unwillingness to surrender, they often experience heavy casualties. For example, at the battle of Milne Bay in 1942 and the invasion of Timor. So usually what happened is when they were completely out of ammunition, they would often resort to hand-to-hand fighting with their swords, so banzai charges. They were also responsible, sadly, for the Manila Massacre during the Allied invasion of the Philippines in February 1945, where 10,000 SNLF troops under the command of Vice Admiral, Saji Iwabushi, disobeyed orders and stayed behind to fight the Americans. But they still had some heroic acts. For example, in the well-known last stand in 1943, 2,619 men of the 7th Sabeso SNLF and 2,000 base personnel, so non-combatants, at the Battle of Tarawa accounted for 3,000 US Marine Corps casualties. So that means that they managed to kill 1-to-1 man and a bit more, which is really incredible. So this is how the figure looks from the front. And here you can see all his equipment and uniform from close up. So first I'm going to start with his helmet. So you can see his helmet, it has an anchor in the center showing that he belongs to the Navy, sorry. So what happened is that you have the helmet with the stuff inside holding it, and then underneath it you have his cap, which was very common because they used the cap to protect. But if you look at the cap, you can see that there's little stuff behind, and they're used to protect the neck from the sun, because in the Pacific the sun's very powerful, and so you can have a heat stroke. Then you can see his head sculpt, which is very good, well done. And here you have his insignia with a nice uniform. So this is, then he has 2 pouches, and I have no idea what they're used for, and one behind for all the ammo. He also has a bayonet sheath and a flask and personal bag. Here is the gun in wood and metal. It is huge, I will show you. Compared to the figure, it's actually the same size as the figure. As you can see, it's really, really big. So it's in wood and metal. It's very nice, and you even have the Emperor's stamp on it. So the bayonet is in steel, and it's removable, of course. They did a great job on it. And so this is how you put it. You just that circle goes into the barrel, and the place where you hold it, the handle, goes into the edge of the rifle, and then you just clip it in and it holds on, and then you can see it holds on very well. And here you have the rifle in wood with the bolt action that works, and they can even pull back. And so here you can see a lot better now the Emperor's Chrism that is now used in nowadays as a reference to know if the rifle is authentic, because authentic ones have the stamp removed. And then you have beautiful sights, and you might have noticed that the sight is a aircraft sight, because they thought that they could actually take down airplanes, their rifles, which was very ambitious. So yes, these two pouches, maybe if a Japanese expert could explain, I have no idea what they're for. Usually when you think of it, the French, the British, the Germans, they always have front pouches with the rifle ammo, whereas the Japanese just have it behind. So maybe it's for the movement, maybe the movement of taking your hand and going it behind to take the cartridges and inserting them into the rifle, instead of taking the rifle cartridges from the front pouch, and maybe it's less comfortable. I don't know. So if someone could explain to me, I would like to know, because I have no idea how it works. I don't even have an idea what they're for. And I have a trousers and some shoes. So that's all for today. I hope you know a bit more about the World War II Japanese Army now. Of course, since I did a Japanese, next week I'll be doing an MG Marine Corps review, 3 figures. So this is the first time I'll be doing 3 figures and not 1 figure. The comment question of the week is, which country during World War II between Japan and America is your favorite for the Pacific Theater? Comment who it is and why, but don't start a debate. No, we don't want debate, so trolls, bye bye. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, because doing all those stuff shows me that you want more, and like that I can produce more videos for you and you can enjoy life more. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page, our website and our 1/6 gallery. Okay, thank you very much. See you next week for another amazing video. Bye bye. Have an awesome week.